Welcome to Deep Thought. Any man-made problem can be solved. Any man-made problem, I don't care what it is, it can be solved. And this is in relation to what I talked about previously about standing back and thinking about a situation. Look, I'm gonna tell you what. I don't care what it is. If it's man-made, if a human being created the problem, it can be solved. I don't care what it is. I don't care what was done. It can be solved. It can be solved. You can think of something, or at the very least, you know how to respond to it. Even if it's beyond, like if it's a problem that costs a lot of money, that's still solving it. Now you have to think about how you're gonna make that money to solve it, but it can be solved. Even acts of nature. And I've said this several times before, even an act of nature, you can still sit back and think about how you're going to respond to it. But those the only time you should be like, okay, I don't know how to solve this. That's the only time, and even then, that you can still have a certain reaction to it. But when you're talking about anything created by another human being, anything created from thought, another human being's thoughts and actions, you can solve that problem, even if it's against you. There's something you can do to solve it. What you do with it, that depends on the problem, depends on how you want to solve it. Like say a problem is a man-made problem is a person who is just bad for your life. The problem, that's easy to solve actually. You just don't deal with them. You're not obligated to deal with anybody. I want you to think about that. Somebody acting a certain way, like I'm known more for relationships and done consultations and done plenty of observation, and people deal with somebody who, like I remember this guy, he had a woman, he had some problems because he felt like his woman was cheating on him. I was like, well, why are you staying with him? The way to solve that problem is to let her go, right? I said that to him. I said, why you married? All right, well, you married her. Okay, there's a problem. You might have to divorce her. And I ain't have a problem saying that to this person. I ain't have a problem saying that because that's exactly what I said. Because that was a problem. That was a problem right there. That was like you putting up with it. Okay, if you think she cheating, why are you staying with her? It was like, and I would say that for any relationship. You having a bad relationship, you staying there. You solve, problem solved. You get out of that situation. This person ain't good for you. You get out of that situation. And see, that's the thing though. And I don't care what it is. If it's something happened in your home, okay, well, call somebody to fix it. Call somebody to repair it. Repair it yourself. All right, there's a few things happening around here. I had to call somebody or fix it myself. Problem solved. I don't care because it was somebody like stuff that happened around here and little small things. I was like, I can fix that. Shoot, you got a problem. Like, I remember when I was living in this modest apartment. All of a sudden the toilets were coming, the toilets were overflowing and stuff. All of them. In fact, I did a video behind it because I had to I was making sure it wasn't getting on my floor and stuff, but it was something for the whole building. I actually called the office. And I was like, hey, we got this problem here. It was like, yeah, we know it's coming in all the apartments. Boom. You had somebody, you call a plumber or whatever. Like, I don't care. You don't get upset over it. Like I said, you don't get upset. I said this week, you don't get upset over it. You think about, okay, I can solve this. This is a man-made problem. It's nothing somebody else can do that should upset you. I don't care what the problem is. Even if somebody coming after you or something, they can be coming after you with a weapon. Well, call the police, duck them. Get your own weapon out. Whatever you got to do. But you can do it. And see, one of the things is, and even why I do this channel is for you to think. Look, if you can think, you can solve the problem. If you can think. If you can think, unless you got something with you where you can't think. Now that could be a problem. You know what? Even even that can be solved. Even that can be solved. You know, if you have some intellectual disability or something, then you might have to work harder. You're going to have to adapt. And there's been plenty of people who've done just that. So there's really no excuses. There's no excuses. You got to think. Every single one of you has been blessed with a brain. Unless you're brain dead, unless you just cannot think, you've been blessed with it. If you can do this, you can do this. You know? If you can do this. I've said that to my sons. I said, well, if they will have a problem with something, I say, well, hold up. You can play these video games and stuff. Then shoot, you can do that. You can do this then. Right? Problem solved. So it was like you got, just going through life, nothing's beyond your control. Anytime, any problem. And I'm going to tell you what, the biggest man-made problems is not created by the days of someone outside of you. It's within yourself. It's within yourself. Like this past Tuesday, I talked about negative thoughts, replacing negative thoughts with positive thoughts. Right? There's plenty of people out here who really, their worst enemy is themselves. They the ones put themselves in a position. If you put yourself in a position with your thoughts, how you thinking, how you behaving, then you can solve it. Not the days, not someone outside of you. You got to look within. If you look within, you can solve it. Any problems you creating on your own, you can solve it, and somebody else don't have to do it for you or tell you anything. You know what you're doing. Because if you causing any problems yourself with your actions, with your behavior, you have total control over that. You got to look at yourself. It was like you putting yourself in that position. It could be, okay, like the relationship angle. If you had 5 people or 20 people who treated you a certain way in a relationship, only thing they had in common was you. If you want to change what's happening, you can change yourself. That's a problem. Like some people might say, well, these women did this, or all these men did this. No. All they had in common was you. What was it about you that attracted that person to you? What was it about you? I want y'all to think about that, all right? Shoot, that's something I need to talk about on my men's channel. Yeah. So, anyway, that's the thing. In fact, yeah. Anyway, right? I always gotta think about what I'm gonna do. Anyway, let's really think about that, all right? Really think about that. Yeah, in my mind, I'm thinking constantly myself. I was like, yeah, maybe I need to do something on that. Anyway, I want y'all to think about that. I don't care what the problem is, you can solve it, all right? And I'll get back with y'all. Peace and blessings.